Welcome to The Edge, where we spotlight visionaries shaping Africa's future. I am Patience, your host, and today we have an inspiring topic that resonates deeply with the heart of our continent. Our focus today is on leadership and enterprise development in African communities. As Africa continues to rise, the importance of strong leadership and entrepreneurial spirit cannot be overstated. These are the cornerstones that will drive our societies forward, creating sustainable opportunities and fostering growth across the continent. Today, we will explore how initiatives like those at the Ugwumba Leadership Center are not only nurturing the next generation of leaders, but also empowering youth and women to become successful entrepreneurs. We'll hear from the president, Ugwumba Uche Nwosu, and take a closer look at the impact of their flagship programs like the Ugwumba Enterprise Challenge and the Rebrand Nigeria Entrepreneur Campaign.
I grew up from a poor family. My dad was a catechist. And when I say catechist, I don't know if you have been in the village. And you see these catechists that go for evangelism. And then you see their shoe is eating of white trekking to be preaching the word of God. So that's the family I came out from. And my dad died very early age when I was young. I had my elder brother who is a custom officer. He also died. So my mom was very strong for us. My sister, senior sister, who barely earned 10 to 15,000 naira then. So it becomes difficult. But one thing my mom taught us is how to be strong. I remember coming back from school, I pick my oranges, depending the one that is trending. If it is orange, during the time of orange, during the time of corn, pear, coconut, ice water, not pure water then. From Omongasi, Ezuku, Obo Hill, Area, Force Road, I trek anyone that is trekkable. My mom was very helpful. So one day we came back from sales. We couldn't sell because of no business that day. So she asked, how do people normally peel your orange? I said, we peel it round. And she said, you see, that's why people cannot sell. So the best thing you can do is to do it this way, which we call our cows. And then she taught us how to do that fast. And then once you want to open the orange for somebody, open it from top. And then not cutting it this way, open it. So we learned how to do that. And people started buying the orange. We came and then we sold. Then during the time of corn, he said, how do you open corn? Boiled corn for somebody. We said, no, you raise it up like this, then remove it and allow the smoke to go around so the person will smell it. And it's funny, very amazing. So with that, I understand that every product you sell is packaging. It doesn't matter, you sell corn, the other person sells corn, but if you package your own very well, you sell. I remember I got admission and I cried all the night because my mom told me that there is no money because you had to call my uncle in Onitsha that we needed money. My uncle said, no, I should come and learn trading, apprenticeship, so that after then I can go to school. So I cried all the night. So in the morning, I woke up, I didn't see my mom. So I was asking my sister, like, where is Kedo Mama? Where is Mama? She said, Mama went to the village. After a day, she came back and said, I brought money. I said, Mama, what happened? Do you know that this woman went and got people to hire her to cultivate and do their farm, and then sold some of the necklaces. My brother, who was a customer officer that I gave her, that was how I got myself to school. But I told myself I was not going to wait for them to pay the school fees, all up to 50 years of my university. So at the second year, I started working hard. On Fridays, I would go back to the village and do medicine work, which we call team bomb in Igbo land. You see people building houses. I help to lift block. On Sunday evening, I'm back to school, dressed very neat. Most people, I told them I traveled. So I did this from second year to my third year, to my fourth year when I became director of transport and now reduced. God started opening doors for me. But what I told myself when these doors started open, I said, I know what I went through in life. And I suffered to get to where I am. So I said, God, since you have blessed me, I will bless as many as I can because I know what they go through. So after my school, I decided to open up a small charity organization But it all started big when I was in government. I found out initially that once you're in government, you don't remember the poor people, most people in government. So I remember that where I am today is God's grace. And for me to succeed and for God to also increase me more is for me to remember the vulnerable and the poor people. As a commissioner for land, my door was open. In fact, I prefer to deal with the cleaner. I remember one certain time I came to office. There is this particular cleaner in my office as commissioner for land. Every day, by the time I come, she's already finished everywhere, cleaned everywhere. So I called my PAMSEC. I said, look, I want to surprise you. He said, what, sir? I said, I want to surprise you. I called all of them. And I singled out that young lady. The father is a security man in my ministry. I said, I'm going to give you a car. So I told my friend, they brought Picantos, the Picanto. They brought the car, brand new, and gave it to her. The girl ran crazy.
Oh my
goodness. So that was my first year in Ministry of Land. So the second year in Ministry of Land, everybody started working hard. So I made it a duty that every year somebody will have a car. For the 4 years I was Commissioner for Land.
Let's take a break from the interview with Ugwumba Uche Nwosu and take a moment to understand the essence of Ugwumba Leadership Center. We have prepared a special documentary that showcases how this organization is transforming lives across Africa. From leadership development to community empowerment, the Ugwumba Leadership Center is on a mission to make lasting impact.
My name is Mrs. Charity Gideon. I'm Bagi by tribe. I received Ugwumba from women and they help me a lot. I buy firewood with the help that they help me. And I'm feeding my children with it, my family.
Across Africa, a powerful transformation is taking place, a movement that is not only shaping the leaders of tomorrow, but also empowering youth and women to create prosperous, sustainable futures. Welcome to the Ugwumba Leadership Center. Founded in 2018 by His Excellency, Ugwumba Uche Nwosu, the Ugwumba Leadership Center was born out of a profound vision to raise a new generation of leaders and entrepreneurs across Africa, with a clear mission to equip the youth and women of Africa with the necessary skills for leadership and enterprise development. The center stands as a beacon of hope and opportunity. Its non-political, non-religious, and inclusive approach ensures that its programs reach a diverse audience, impacting lives and communities across the continent.
Ba kudin zan siya na karba na siya masara buhu biyu na sayarwa ya taimake ni na sake na biya ma yara na kudin school fees na gode masa Allah ya kara mishi kwanaki ya kara bude mishi hanya.
One of the flagship programs, the Ugwumba Enterprise Challenge, is designed to turn the ideas, skills, and passions of young Africans into thriving businesses. Through a competitive pitching process, participants undergo an intensive bootcamp that hones their creativity, critical thinking, and problem-solving skills. Since its inception, the challenge has supported over 5,000 small and medium-sized enterprises and created jobs for more than 20,000 young people across Nigeria. The Ugwumba Enterprise Academy complements this by offering tailored business development training, from financial literacy to digital marketing. Participants acquire the tools they need to scale their startups and contribute meaningfully to Africa's economic development. Beyond enterprise, the center also tackles global perceptions with its Rebrand Nigeria campaign, an initiative launched to highlight the remarkable achievements of Nigerians worldwide. This campaign seeks to change the negative narrative and foster a more positive image of Nigeria on the international stage. At the core of the center's vision is the Ugwumba Leadership Academy, a program designed to instill values of democracy, peace building, and personal accountability in young Nigerians. Here, participants are encouraged to think Nigeria first and to become champions of progress and unity. Through its various programs and initiatives, the Ugwumba Leadership Center is not just shaping the leaders of tomorrow, it is building the foundations for a brighter, more prosperous Africa. An Africa led by visionary youth and women, committed to creating a future of peace, innovation, and shared success.
What an insightful documentary. It truly highlighted the transformative impact that leadership and enterprise development can have on African communities. Now, to get more in-depth understanding, let's return to our conversation with Ugwumba Uche Nwosu, the visionary founder of the Ugwumba Leadership Center. Mr. Nwosu has been at the forefront of this movement, and his insights into how we can nurture future leaders and entrepreneurs in Africa are invaluable. Let's return to our discussion.
I found out that the major problem of our youth these days is no mentorship, no role model, no support. We set up the Ugwumba Leadership Center where we train them, empower them, those of them who are just, who are educated but cannot find job. Need advise them to have a second address. Your second address should be that you have another thing that you are doing. There is no shame in becoming a barber. There is no shame in becoming a hairdresser. There is no shame in having a small shop and selling recharge card. I did it.
But you know, when it comes to entrepreneurship, the terrain in Africa is not very friendly. And a whole lot of people have to grapple with so much to succeed as an entrepreneur. You do business. How are you managing? What are the challenges you are facing as a businessman day to day in this country, and how are you surmounting them?
Yes, one problem we have, there was something I read in one book one certain time, and I found out that they said that the much revenue of most country comes from these small enterprises. Yes. You find out that when you go to Alaba market now, you see Okeke and Sons Nigerian Limited, you see Namdi this, you go to Onitsha, you see Emeka Okori, you go to the north, you go to Kano, you see Alhaji Ibrahim. You see, when you gather all the money, taxes they pay together, you find out that it's more bigger than what this major company, the federal government is always focused on them. And they forgot that 1,000 or 2,000 small businesses can generate more revenue for the government than these bigger ones. That's the challenge, lack of support. Another thing is the conducive environment, what they need to operate to run their business. Let me take the issue of light. In my hotel in Owerri, we spend 200,000 every day on light. Calculate it in a month. That's like 6-point-something million. Then on diesel, in every 4 days, we spend 750,000 naira. Calculate it in a month. So you look at in a month, we spend like up to 10 million on power generation. For me, as who I am. Then you look at the younger ones, like somebody with a small barbing salon in a rural area, and we'll be spending like 300,000 on light, and makes how much when you buy 500, 300? So one is the issue of support from government. One is the issue of the power. So that's the major problem. When you come to entrepreneurship and those wanting to be into that, that's the problem they face. Problem.
Okay, so I know you're into the hospitality business. How will you describe it in Nigeria? Are we doing well as far as hotels, general hospitality business in Nigeria? Are we growing?
We are doing well. It still boils down to the issue of insecurity. because the chairman of my advisory board, Ugwumba Center for Leadership Development, and then two of my friends also from US. I remember during the end part of President Buhari's tenure, I remember inviting them for our enterprise challenge. And the first thing Rajan told me is that they read on newspaper that there is so much insecurity in Nigeria, and he doesn't know, they're advising him not to come. I called my friend from US. He said that's exactly what they told them when they were applying. Their country told them, so he doesn't think that he will come. You know, when they come, I will pay for their hotel, and they are going to stay in the hotel. Thereby, even the food they eat, the things will also increase in the hospitality industry. You see the problem that the insecurity has brought.
Yes.
Nigeria is a very sweet place. Nice people. In fact, Nigerians like to harbor well their visitors than their own brothers and sisters. Sure. Energy, again, is the greatest problem in the hospitality industry. And tax. Oh, yeah. Tax also. Some places, you see, municipal will come with their tax, state will come with their tax, federal government will come with their tax.
Multiple tax.
Multiple taxation is another problem that we are facing in hospitality industry.
Okay, so you see, that's the reason why we're celebrating entrepreneurs, because we know you're facing all this, you're not giving up, you're pushing on and you're pushing on. Now, for you, where do you see your businesses in the next 10 years, given the terrain as it is now?
In our businesses, like the hospitality, the farm, the school, I'm looking at, in the nearest future, apart from the revenue, I'm looking at taking more young Nigerians, alleviating poverty and unemployment. Because as the business grows, you also need more person. If the business is growing, you have an accountant who now the job is big, you need an assistant accountant, you have one driver, the business grows, you need another second driver. So as it grows, you're also taking in more people and also helping to reduce unemployment in the society. So
when you say you have a farm, I'm intrigued. I'm like, okay, there's nothing about it that looks like, what attracted you to farming and what kind of farming do you do?
I have a fish farm and a poultry. Wow. What attracted me, what led me into farming was my friend. I went to his farm one day. He's a big guy, so I saw him. He will go to the farm, stay in the farm, wear his this thing, and be moving around. So I asked myself, with all his money, and he will still come back to the farm, and himself will be feeding the chickens, and then the fish and I said, so why should I be doing as if I have everything? The food comes from the farm, and at the end of the day, he makes money from the farm. I decided on my own that I was going into farming. So I started with the poultry and fish farm. At the time, before these problems of things started going up, our farm were making like 340 crates of eggs daily. And then we have like up to 200-something thousand fish. And then the broilers, we have like up to 10 to 15,000 broilers. But I want to tell you that the young ones in Nigeria, nobody wants to go into farm. And we politicians also, we are not helping matters because we made them believe that you can wake up one day and become a councillor. You don't have 100,000 and you now have 2 million. You can wake up one day and become a minister or a governor. You don't have up to 100 million. You now have 2 billion. So they are challenging their effort towards politics, which is not good for the country. Yes, agree that young people should participate in politics, but it's a second address. Once you make politics your first address, after becoming a commissioner, after becoming a chairman of a local government, a governor, what next? Are you going back to your profession as a lawyer? Are you going back to your profession as a farmer? Are you going back to your profession as a doctor? President Buhari has gone back to farm. Abdul Salam has gone back to farm. Obasanjo has gone back to farm and his library. What about the generation now that we have? What would they fall back?
Now we are stepping away briefly from our conversation with Ugwumba Uche Nwosu to listen to the voices, or to someone, should I say, who has worked with him for some time. He is the Director General of the Leadership Foundation. Of course, Mr. Uche Nwosu's leadership has had impact on their lives and their careers. Let's hear what he has to say. Afterwards, we'll return to our conversation with Ugwumba Uche Nwosu.
He's someone that gives and gives and gives without getting tired. This is someone that has been described as a beacon of hope, for youths in Nigeria and elsewhere in Africa. This is a man that every day he keeps bringing people that we will give scholarship. He keeps bringing people. The other one, he met someone selling ice water last time. I think along Maitama, he stopped him right there and took his details and asked the boy to call me. The next day, I saw someone in the office, and he told me, we have to give this guy a scholarship. Imagine him wearing tie and selling pure water. He has to go to school. That's how we started. We paid for his tutorial to do JAMB. We wrote JAMB, and today he's almost graduating from the university. The same happened in Imo State. One young boy that built aircraft, he saw him and adopted the boy. This one, he said, we must send him to America or UK to go and do aeronautic engineering. So he's someone that he cannot see anyone suffering and close his eyes.
So your foundation is raising entrepreneurs. How far with that?
More than 5,000 young Nigerians, both the ones that got training and certificate courses from us, and those ones we were able to support with a little fund during our enterprise challenge that we normally do every December. Okay. I can mention a few of them. First, let me start with one that is called Postmort. Postmort was still a young youth and a student when we met him in Owerri. He came second during our first enterprise challenge. And we got to just barely to 50,000. And he decided to start a small paint industry. Oh. Today, Postmort has a big paint making factory. He has one of the big farm in Owerri. He's a big boy. We have Bilikisu. Bilikisu, she's read architecture in school. She came out, many years, no job. Biliki decided to use scraps like condemned tires and condemned water sachet to do some designs and then put it in a room. And she never had money for that. During one of our enterprise challenge, Bilikisu came first and won 1.something million. And today, Biliki exports her materials, her finished product to US and other countries. There is another lady from Akwa Ibom, Kaidi. Kaidi is a medical doctor, but she couldn't get a job. So during one of our enterprise challenges, she was able to prove herself that she can produce a diffuser with a little mega money. And she won her own money too. Today, Kendi exports her perfumes and her diffuser to Ghana, neighboring countries. We also have another young boy that is into clutches and what do you call it? The medical doctors know. When somebody's limb is broken, and then okay. He started that and never had money to continue. He won one of our distance and he's producing now. We also have another young boy who was able to create changeover instrument, changeover power. Then when NEPA comes and there is no light, it's automatic changeover. He did it and was able to showcase himself that he can do this. He won one of our prize and got money and started doing well. And before you know, the Ministry of Power saw his talent and took him. So he's now working with them. Oh my God. And he can now produce changeover in a bigger design. And so many of them also who have gotten certificate courses. Our partner in 2021 was able to help us with 151 young Nigerians. And he paid $210,000 for them to get certificate courses, master certificate courses in some of their fields. You know what it means for somebody to spend such kind of money to have young Nigerians to be trained and have master's courses in a university in the US. So there are many of them. And then we have the women also. These women are women who are poor in the society, considering what I went through and what my mother went through. So I told my DG that there is need for us to support these women you see on the street, selling granules, trekking, and there is need for we to ask them, Madam, where do you live? You live in Nyanya, and you have to trek from Nyanya to Federal Secretariat just to sell a granule that is not up to 20,000. Say, Madam or Mama, why can't we get an umbrella for you or a table for you to stay somewhere and start that in a bigger way, fill it somewhere and start it. And we tried it, it worked. So we've been able also to help thousands of them, providing umbrella, providing table, providing places where they can sit instead of trekking to sell those things. I think I want to thank God that we have been able to have impacted in the lives of poor Nigerians.
Okay. So you were speaking and I'm thinking he's doing this and doing that and doing this. When do you relax? How do you, on a normal day and you want to unwind, how do you unwind? Is it music you like? Do you play any sports? What do you do? I want to know.
I love music. I love traveling.
Oh, good.
And I love watching movie at my convenient time. But more especially, I love traveling. I love music.
Okay, good.
Yes, music. Right. I love music. Even though I'm traveling, I have my earpod.
Okay, let me extend it a bit. Now that you've told me, what kind of music do you listen to? Country? What kind of music do you like?
I listen to country. I love Nigerian music.
Oh,
I love Nigerian music. I love Afrobeat. I love what's his name? Davido.
Oh, okay.
I love Tiwa Savage. I love Patoranki.
Okay.
And one of my favorites, Two-Face.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure having this conversation with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We pray that you continue to raise new and more entrepreneurs in Africa. We pray that the Lord strengthen you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you very much.
The insights shared by Mr. Uche Nwosu, along with the heartfelt stories, especially from his Director General, reminds us of the incredible impact that visionary leadership can have on individuals and communities alike. Thank you for joining us on The Edge today. We hope you found the inspiration in our stories that we have shared and that the courage for you to pursue your own path of leadership and innovation. Until next time, keep pushing the boundary of what is possible. I am Patience, and it's been The Edge. Stay tuned for more stories of innovation and transformation and leadership.